What's up, everybody? This is Odell. You know who it is. You know how I do. It's been a minute, right? There's a whole lot of going on, and I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm not going to reiterate a lot of things that we already know. But I just want to talk to the people that are not activists, and the people that aren't racist. So if you're still on social media, what you're going to find is you're going to find what a lot of the people you believe, what they believe. A lot of the people that you follow, you're going to see what they believe. And one thing that I see is a lot of people sharing stuff, um, sharing information, sharing videos, sharing a lot of things that are going on. And then you have other people that are saying to those people, well, this is what you should be doing. This is what you shouldn't be doing. And I haven't, done a video in a while, just because I always, whenever this stuff happens, and maybe you've seen me share videos about this, whenever a black man is killed unarmed, whenever there's a tragedy, whenever, there's a hurricane, like whatever happens, Odell, myself, I just sit back and watch. I don't say anything. I still post. I still scroll, but I don't say anything. And the reason why I don't say anything is because I need a beat to kind of process. And so the past week I haven't been saying anything. I haven't been doing, Freestyle Friday. Like today's Friday. I haven't done any Freestyle Fridays in a couple weeks. I haven't done anything like that. And then I was taking a walk and talking to my wife, talking about, what are you gonna do and all this stuff. And I just looked to her and I said, I'm not an activist. I'm not an activist. Um, and the reason why I say that is because I believe activism is like that's your life. That's what you do on a regular basis. Like if you are a plumber, if you are a philanthropist, if you are like that's something you do on a regular basis, no matter what's going on. And so I don't participate in that type of activism because I'm running my business and I'm raising my family. Then I thought back to a question I asked my grandmother back in 2018. And the reason why that I remember the year was because that was the 50-year anniversary of Dr. King's assassination. And so I asked my grandma, what was she doing? Like, were you marching, grandma? Were you protesting? What were you doing? And in 1968, my grandma had a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, and an 8-year-old, and a husband. And what my grandma told me at that time in 2018, she said, I was raising my family. I was making sure that my kids learned what they needed to do to be better in the generation. So that's what she was doing, and so now I'm thinking about it the same way. My activism is my duty to my family first. I'm not saying if you're watching this that you can't be an activist and you can't be a family person. I'm just telling you where my focus is. And I don't want people to feel bad if they're not, suddenly seen as woke or something like that. So think about it. If you're not an activist, you need to be active in sharing your talents, sharing your values with like-minded people. That's what you need to be active in. And also, if you're not a racist, so I have white friends. I've got white friends, but no, seriously. And I don't, racism. That's a whole nother conversation. As far as if, like, how do you know if somebody's racist, right? I believe racism has to do with power more than it has to do with bias. So I think everybody's racially biased. Just to keep it a buck. Everybody's racially biased. Everybody leans towards their own race for whatever reason. If you want to date, if you want to have a friendship, if you want to, whatever, everybody leans towards their own initially. But then once you do your research and once you get to know people and like people, then you change. And I personally think that's okay if you're racially biased. And I think it's okay to be divided as long as you're not destructive. You're not going to come home with me, you watching this. Many of you I've known for years, and we were really good friends 15 years ago. You're not coming to my crib unannounced? Nah, like that even maybe 15 years ago we did that, right? But now we're not doing that because things have changed a little bit. It's not because I don't like you, it's just because I don't know the new you. I haven't got to know you. I don't know what you're into. So we got to kind of get reacclimated to one another. So bias and racism, I think it's a little different, but again, that's a conversation for another day. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, I'm not racist, Odell, maybe I'm white, I'm not racist, I don't know what's going on. It's very, very simple. And I'll say this, speak on what you know. We only know what we experience. Speak on we only know what we experience and what we've deeply researched. Speak on what you know. If you don't know, just don't say anything. It's okay not to have an opinion all the time. It's okay not to share your opinion all the time. It's okay. So if you're white and you don't understand, either stay clueless or get informed. But you don't have to say stuff. And that message is loosely connected to Drew Brees, loosely. But a lot of people like Drew Brees. And if you don't know who Drew Brees is, you can just Google it. But just don't say anything. It's okay to not connect. And you've got to make that decision for yourself. So if you're not racist, if you're not an activist, what are you going to do? Me personally, I'm just going to share my talent, share my gifts, share my work, keep being as good a person as I can be, keep training my children in the way that they should go. So when they're old, they don't depart from it. So that's what I'm going to do. So whatever it is you're going to do, let's do it. And don't be destructive to other people. Don't tear down anybody else if you don't understand what other people are going through. It's okay not to understand stuff. So hope this helped. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'll see you on the next one.